866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, 8th day of June, 2017. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Comey not having such a great day, and Trump really having a bad day because of Comey, but I'm sure you've been following that and are well aware. If you can't see the chart I have up, go to our homepage at cfrn.net, click the microphone on the right, follow the instructions, and you'll be registered all the way through the end of June, which means you'll join every day with one-click access. Or you can go to youtube.com/CFRN. Click the live button and you'll see us live. I want to welcome everyone back who is returning and those who may be here for the first time. A very special welcome to you. Any questions that you may have, just put them in the chat box and we'll be happy to answer them. Okay, we're going to go straight to the numbers. We're going to start with the futures market, or the cash markets here in the U.S. Today's rollover day, but typically we don't roll over until Friday. That's when volume in the new contract exceeds volume in the old contract. But in the cash markets, the Dow is up 28 points, NASDAQ is up 12.5, S&P 500 is up almost 2, and the Russell 2000 is up 12.5. Now, the only mover and shaker there would be the Russell, which is up almost 1%. In our commodity basket, crude oil is up 16 cents, trading 45.88, and gold is down almost 14 bucks, trading 12.79.40. In the European markets, the FTSE closed down 28 points, the DAX closed up 41 points, and the CAC was near the flat line, down a little over 1.25%. I'm sorry, 1.25 points. And last but not least, in the Asian markets, the Nikkei down 75, Shanghai up almost 11, and the Hang Seng closed up almost 89. No movers, no shakers. Asia's mixed. Europe's mixed. But here at home, everything seems green, wall to wall. Now, this business with Comey, Comey's testimony has confirmed that he took meticulous notes about his meetings with the president and told Attorney General Jeff Sessions that he did not want to be left alone with Trump because he felt the conversations were inappropriate. He said he never felt that way with Bush or Obama. This is not going to go well for the president. I'm sorry to say. America needs to get back to the business of being America. And it's been a long time. Michael, if you're ready, come on in and hit us with the recap of whatever happened in the live training room today.
All right. I will do that. Here we go.
And I'm going to step away for just a second, but I'll be right back.
Okay. I only had 4 trades this morning, so it's not going to take long. But I will. You go get your coffee. All right. Good afternoon, Pete. And here we go. Now, that over there. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 8th day of June, 2017. Today in the live training room. Well, first of all, if you have not taken the free trial with us, just go to the homepage here at CFRN.net, and you see this banner up here at the very top of the page. Is it going to drop down? Here, I'll do it again. There, that banner right there at the very top of the page is going to drop down. And you need to click on that banner. Once you click the banner, right here where it says click here, it's going to bring you to this page where we only ask for your email and your first name. Then you hit the submit button. Once you do that, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay. Once you click on the confirmation link, then you'll be sent all the information you need to get into the live training room and take our free trial. All right. The spreadsheet. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you're going to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Okay. Today, on the euro, we made 1 tick. On crude, we made 1 tick. On gold, we made 9 ticks. 106.25. 106.25. Today, it took 56 minutes and 4 opportunities to get to 106.25. And we took a total of 4 today, which was a really slow day. And I was really expecting it to be a really volatile day. You know, a lot more action, given all the things that are happening right now. But sadly, it did not happen. Okay, so on the month, we're up 613.75. That's over 6 days, averaging 102 per day. That's gross 102 per day. On the year, gross 16,748. That's over 107 days, averaging 156 per day. Again, that's gross. That is one contract, 2 hours per day. All right, so let's take a look at what did happen here. The gold got moved around quite a bit here, and I missed. Obviously, I missed some good stuff here on the gold. I missed that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. I didn't highlight that one. That one. But that all happened really fast. If you look at this, you see 941.40 right there. 941.40 right there. All that is all in 1 second. Still all in 1 second. There we go. So from like right here to right here was 1 second. This in here though, I don't know what I was doing, but I was doing something, and I ended up missing this and this and this, all of which would have given us the goal for the day. We did get this one right here. That got us the 9 ticks that we did get, and that did get us the goal for the day. But then the cycle started going down. Price was still going up. The cycle was going down. Then, well, over here was the end of it all. That's where we are right now. Okay, it needs to close above that trend line. Okay. The euro, well, we had a break even there. We had a break even there. I had moved this around because I was using that as my place to show the trade setup. We had a break even there, and a +1 here. Okay, and then we missed that and that. And so we ended with +1 on the euro. Okay, on crude, we had just this one right here that we took, and we got +1 on that. You see I was drawing trend lines everywhere, but we didn't end up getting the trade setups there. All right, and when we finally did get a trade setup, I missed this one, and I missed this one, and that one, and that one. And during the break, there was a long trade from right here, a long trade from right there. Okay, over here, hang on. A bounce off the BBC could be happening right now. 85 down to 81 would be a shorting opportunity on the crude right now. Right now it's 86 down to 82. Right, it would be a shorting opportunity there on the crude. On the YM, I don't think we did anything today. We did nothing on the YM. We missed a momentum trade there, looks like, and we missed a long trade right there. But we did not do anything with the YM today. Okay, and the ES, well, it started up here in this zone. Right, it was stuck to this zone at the beginning. Then it made a move down to the next zone. And then got stuck down here for a little while. Came right back up to this zone. You know, the awful part is that we have so little range here on the ES this week that next week the zones are going to be really tight. These are our zones, and this is the range that we've had in the last few days here. And you know, it hasn't been that much. What's that? 35 down to 23, so 10 points range in the last few days. 12 points. All right. So that is that. Now let's go over this. All right. We have now on the month, well, on the day anyway, made 1 tick on the euro, 1 tick on crude, and 9 ticks on gold to get us to the goal of $106.25. 56 minutes, 4 trades, 106.25. Only 4 trades on the day today. After having 12 yesterday, it's not very many. We averaged 10 per day last month, and so far this month, I guess we're averaging 9. On the month now, we're up $613 over 6 days, averaging 102.29 per day. And on the year now, we're up 16,748. That's over 107 days, averaging 156 per day. You're going to read the spreadsheet. You can read all the CFTC risk disclosure stuff down at the bottom. All right. Let's go. Here. Okay. If you have not taken the free trial with us, go to the home page here at CFRN. Right here at the very top, there's a banner. It says click here. You just need to click there. And here, we've reduced this so much. All you need is your email and your first name and hit submit. Once you do that, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click that confirmation link, you will not get the free trial. All right, and that's it. Dwayne, I don't know if you're back yet.
I'm right here.
You are? Good. That curve is really fast, isn't it? All right, so you can take the charts whenever you're ready.
Okie doke.
All right, and the indexes right now are starting to move.
Yeah, this is first movement we've seen.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. I do see your charts.
Yeah, we're pushing up. 24.37.
Mm-hmm.
39. Okay, the next zone overhead. Now we're going to roll forward in the live room tomorrow morning, right?
Correct. We're rolling tomorrow.
Was the volume about 50-50 today?
Let me check. Financials. 792 in this month and 313 in the next. So no, it's still 2/3 more right now. In the current contract. The current contract's where all the volume is right now. But tomorrow that'll change.
Yeah. So we got another zone. Now these are this week's zones. Right overhead at 39.40. I mean, the zones are pretty tight this week. So,
yes.
And they'll probably be pretty tight next week unless we see some extraordinary movement this afternoon and tomorrow. So the recap of the recap.
Today, 56 minutes, 4 trades, 106.25.
Good job.
56. 4. Got it done.
All right. All right, guys. Well, John's gonna be with us just a minute, and we're gonna just move quickly through this because I think most folks want to listen to the Comey testimony. It's pretty brutal. And we'll see if this 39.40 holds us back if we move through it. Next number above that's 45.46. Okay, and as I'm sure Michael mentioned, tonight is Partners Workshop. So partners, you'll get your invitation this afternoon. And if you've been on the trial and you want to be in that workshop, you should have gotten an email from Michael already. If you didn't, or you don't know what it takes to become a partner, just call 949-423-6464 or send an email to support@cfrn.net. We'll scan a couple of headlines here. Uber's fired an executive who allegedly obtained a rape victim's medical records. Eric Alexander, who leads Uber's business in Asia, reportedly obtained the woman's medical records and shared them with other Uber executives. Amazon's site showed a picture of a dog instead of products to some people on Wednesday. The company had a rare outage which lasted for some time. Apple is going now with the Amazon Web Services. You know, when Amazon has an outage, it's sort of a big deal because Amazon Web Services power an awful lot of what we know as the internet today. Apple is going to make it easier and quicker to get your iPhone screen repaired. It's going to put its proprietary machine for repairing glass screens in almost 400 authorized repair centers in 25 countries. A new leaked image suggests the anticipated OnePlus 5 phone will look like the iPhone. It's going to have a smooth black finish, which is different to previous OnePlus phones. The new operating system for Apple, iOS 11, lets you play FLAC lossless audio files straight from your iPad and iPhone. It's a first for Apple, but you can't play them through the music app. Also, the iPhone 5 will not run iOS 11. A judge has ruled that Uber has to hand over a key document in its legal fight with Google's self-driving car company, Waymo. The document is a due diligence report about auto that Uber prepared during its acquisition talks with the startup in 2016. Google's drone delivery project Wing said it took part in a series of nationwide tests organized by NASA and the FAA. Competitors including Intel and DJI also took part. We haven't heard much lately about Amazon delivering packages to your house via drones. That whole thing got real quiet. Apple's new Planet of the Apps TV show is an unintentionally comical train wreck. The ousted founder of Unilad has won a legal ruling that could force the sale of the site. Alex Partridge won a high court battle after being ousted from his own company. Oh, that's gotta hurt. And last, an Irish fintech, financial technology, an Irish fintech startup founded by a former Facebook employee has just raised about $25 million just 6 months after launching Plink. Now that's Plynk, links people's Facebook accounts and lets them send money without any fees. So how do they make money? That's a great question. I mean, we got all these unicorn companies. Are we getting near another internet bubble? I mean, we found out in 2000 that just building a site without any way to generate revenue, while it was cute and clever, it wouldn't pay the bills. And pretty soon investors got tired of ponying up money, and they were getting no return on their investment. Okay, we're going to go to our good word for the day. And we're going to talk about being humble. We all know and have read and you've heard on this show that God loves a humble man, and if you don't humble yourself, then he will humble you, and that's painful. So it's always best to start the day humble. In Daniel 4:34, I lifted my eyes to heaven, and my understanding returned to me. God always responds in love to a humble heart, and he always rejects a proud one. One moment, King Nebuchadnezzar was boasting about having built the world's most advanced civilization. The next moment, he'd lost his mind and was crawling on all fours, eating grass like an animal. If you've never read that story of Nebuchadnezzar, you should. But when he repented, God restored him to his throne. He said, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven, and my understanding returned to me. Now I praise thee, King of heaven, all of whose works are truth and his ways justice. And those who walk in pride he is able to put down. Daniel 4:34 through 37. The fall is bad enough, but to fall and not cry out for help or refuse to repent of your sin is worse than the fall itself. Maybe you're ashamed to let anyone know that you've fallen. Is your public image so important that you're willing to continue on in your pitiful state? Are you so deceived that you refuse to acknowledge that you need God? Stop being proud. Isn't that what caused you to fall in the first place? Pride is dangerous because it forces you to languish needlessly in a helpless state for days, sometimes even years. The truth is, if you'd asked for help sooner, you could have gotten up and gone on with your life. But the good news is, it's not too late to repent and acknowledge your need of God. When Nebuchadnezzar did that, his reason and understanding returned, and he was restored to his kingdom. So if pride has gotten between you and God, if your relationship is not what it once was, if you've become so successful that pride and arrogance has cloaked you instead of humility, it's very easy to get before God, to humble yourself, and God will invite you back in to all that he has for you. You just got to have a change of heart, change of mind, and talk to him. That's our good word for the day. Okay, last night we got the alerts out early, about 5 minutes of 7. So that would be 1900 hours. Now again, today is official rollover day, and if you trade on a platform that automatically rolls you forward, then you are automatically rolled forward today when you come in. When you came in. TradeStation as an example. Everyone using that platform got automatically rolled forward today. Will roll tomorrow. When I send out the alerts tonight, I will send them out for the new contract. Because overnight, London open, tomorrow's open, we will see the majority of the volume shift into the new contract. Okay, we hit the zone overhead at 43, and now you've heard me say that when price hits a zone, one of three things happens. Consolidation, which is this. Rejection, which is this. It touched it and ran the other way. And a hot knife through butter, which we don't have an example of this week. Here's Sunday night's Globex open. We came down into a zone, consolidated, made it to the zone overhead, back down to the zone, back up to the zone, back down to the zone. Now the zones weren't very wide, but from 35 to 39, that's 4 points. So 4 up, 4 down, 4 up, 4 down. Consolidation. See, each time we got up there, there was rejection, not consolidation. Down here we get consolidation, up here we get rejection. More consolidation, and then we finally push through that level and hit the zone below. Now that zone was a little bit bigger. 28 to 34, that's 6 points. So 6 down, 6 up, and then here 6 down, and then didn't quite make it. Zones are an area, you always got to remember that. Kind of like fibs. Fibs do create an exact point or number on your chart, but it's still an area. Down to the zone, back up to the zone, down to the zone, back up to the zone, and then all this consolidation here. And then today we went down to the zone, hit the zone, got rejected, took another run, got through it, hit this zone, got rejected, and it looks like we're going to take another run at it right there. So partners have these zones every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. For the S&P, the Russell, Crude, and the Dow. Now last night we were in the alert that went out. Oh, let me drag it out for anyone that wants to take a screenshot. Okay. This is the exact email that went out last night to everyone. If you're using the GoToWebinar software, the little thing on top of your window that looks like a camera, click that and it will save an image to your desktop. Okay. All right, we were looking to buy 24.42 if that was possible, but not yet. And on the reverse side, we were looking to sell 24. No trigger. Two days in a row. I can't remember the last time that happened, if it's ever happened. Now this could change if this testimony sends the market, running in one direction or the other. Okay, the Dow. Last night said to consider being long 21,205. Here's 21,205. Now from 205, if you got triggered in up here and this thing pulled back to 2150, that's 55 points times $5 per point. So we're right at that $300 level. We never risk more than $300. on a Concierge Trade Alert. However, your stop really should have been about here, so you didn't get. And then on the next run, your stop would have been down here at the $300 mark if you were going to take the trade, and that means you would have caught this run here from 205 up to 270, so that's 65 points at $5 per point. We never get out of the swing high or the swing low because we trail our stop. Sell side on the Dow was 211.45, and so there was no short trigger. Soybeans, email said consider being long at 9:35. Come on. There we go. Almost. Okay, 9:35. Soybeans pay the same as the S&P. 12.50 per tick, $50 per point. Now, this first little run up took us to $9.40 so we'll call it 5 times 50. Depending upon how closely you were trailing your stop on this pullback here, you probably got stopped out with some profit. If you were, trailing back here, it's possible you might have stayed in the trade. The high was 944, 944.75, so that would be 9.75. But again, you would have had to have a pretty wide stop to stay in that trade. Okay, just a pretty good pullback here. We lay fibs on it. Almost a 62% retracement. See, fibs are an area, so the pullback took us halfway between the 50 and the 62, and that was it. Okay. That covers soybeans. Next, bonds. We've already moved to the U contract there. 1900. On bonds, we were looking to be short 154.07. which is right where we're at right now. $154.07. Okay, the first drop took us down to 154.02, so that would be 5. Important prices, important areas, almost always tested. This time we dropped to a low at 152.28. There's 32 ticks to a point. So 4 and 7, that's 11 times 31.25 per tick. Usual caution with bonds, unless you have some good experience trading, there are better markets to learn in. And it's gone up, it tested again, got above the trigger. It looks like it's ready to take another drop. Now, this would have been way too much risk for this trade. So unless you were able to find a suitable entry on the 5-minute chart, this is a trade that you would not have been in because there was just simply too much risk. Okay. Now here, this is acceptable risk. Get a swing high, get above the trigger, start to drop, and often the trades with the least amount of risk end up providing the greatest amount of profit. The cycle down here, if that turns red and starts to hook down, that will be a good sign for this trade. Okay, we've covered the S&P, we covered the Dow, covered the soybeans, covered the bonds. Let's go to gold. Rough day, I must say. John was supposed to join us. John, if you're listening, you need to go ahead and give us a call. Okay, we were looking to be buyers at 92, which we didn't quite make. And we were looking to sell 1287. And that's right here. Okay, so the first drop, again, you got to take risk into consideration. And again, here, but you see before the big drop, the least amount of risk provided the greatest amount of profit. This drop here was good for $100. This drop here was good for 160. But the one with the least amount of risk actually dropped, goodness, all the way down to from 87. Well, at 77, that's $1,000 per contract. From 87 to 77, $10 drop, $100 per dollar. So we've got $1,000 per contract available. And then we dropped another $350. So $1,350 is what the trade made available. Now we have a rule of thumb that says anytime you make $1,000 per contract, one instrument, one day, you should take the money and walk away. This was quite a drop. Now let's see. The partners had asked me to do zones this week for gold, and I did. So we hit a zone right here, 1275/76, and we consolidated at the zone above, which is 84.85. Let's roll back to Sunday night for a minute. A little too far. Okay, we opened, this was a Sunday night open. We hit the zone here and consolidated at 84.85. Finally broke through and got up to the zone overhead at 92.93, where we again consolidated. And then we got like one tick away from the zone here, and we were rejected. As we came back here to test for good support, rejected. Got up here, rejected. Back down. Now that zone is, let's see, 93 to 99, and this was the highest weekly zone, 1299/1300. And we got up to 1298.90. So from 93 to 99, that's a $600 move. So 600 up and then 600 down. And we couldn't make it back up. Just weren't enough buyers there. And I mean, 1300 is a huge psychological number, so getting above that is probably going to be difficult. Consolidation here at the 92.93. Again, we try to run at the zone overhead, couldn't make it. Fell, looks like to the tick, to the zone below. Caught a bounce and almost made it to the zone overhead. And then on the sell-off today, we hit the zone at 75.76. The next zone below, if we were to take out this zone, 65.66. In queue. $1,900. Right there. The NQ, the alert said to consider being long at 58.86. It pays $20 per point. Swing high was 58.97. So we got 11 times $20 per point per contract. And then on the sell side, the NQ dropped. Let's see, we were looking to be short at 58.65.
Hello.
Hey, John, welcome to the show.
Hi there. How you doing?
Very good, very good. Yeah, I know that you're interested in the Comey testimony, and as is almost everyone. So, however brief you need to be, will be fine.
No, it's finished. It's finished now. So
oh, is it finished? Okay.
Halted for the time being.
Oh, okay.
They're going to do more, but look, I said, I've been emphatic about this run to 22,000. The way we're going, we hit 21,265 a short while ago. I wouldn't be surprised if we close the week out north of 21,300. And I also wouldn't be surprised if we hit 22,000 before the end of June, the rate we're going. There's a possibility this market is starting to accelerate to the upside. Our star performer is NVIDIA. It is, I said, we adjusted our target up to 200 to 250, and it is just hit 158.5 a minute ago, and we're moving our stops up accordingly. Blue is another big performer of ours. Just hit 109 this morning, looking very strong. Off an 81 low recently. OLED is acting phenomenal. We're long OLED. It just hit a new high, 126, almost 127. We're long LOXO, LOXO, which gapped up recently and is starting to accelerate to the upside. AGO, we actually held that stock overnight. We sold it near the high this morning. We sold IONS at the high this morning. We sold Intercept near the highs this morning, and we'd be looking to probably buy those back when the market tells us to use your special phrase.
Mm-hmm.
We also long JP Morgan and Delta Airlines, DAL, and Wells Fargo. And the reason we're moving into these bank stocks is because we think the bank stocks are ready for another big run, and we are very bullish on the transportation sector. The airlines, in particular Delta, looks unbelievably bullish. I think it's going to go, much higher. We're long the TNA and the mid cap EM. The TNA is looking phenomenal. I've got some people in that, and they can't believe. I got them in, I got them back. I mean, I've had them in and out, and we're back in big time. And I've been screaming at them this morning to say get long this thing, because sometimes the TNA takes time to get going. But when if you look at the chart, the TNA is looking for a breakout to the upside. It's just going to be massive. And the fact that the TNA is breaking out to new all-time highs is incredibly bullish, especially the fact that Dow made a new high this morning. So what we want to see, and we're having a bit of a problem with the Nasdaq, in spite of the fact that the NVIDIA is going up and the semiconductors are going up. Nasdaq's stalling for some reason, which is a little bit of a cautionary thing to think about. We did get a sharp break this morning, and we're starting to break down a little bit right now. We actually had a bit of a sell. As I'd be ready to sell if it starts down anymore, because it could, in spite of all the other stuff going on today. However, if we turn upwards, if we get back up above 5,900 here on the Nasdaq, I mean, I think the 6,000 number is next stop, and getting above 6,000, we could really run all the way up to 6,600, somewhere like that, in the next month or two. So I'm definitely expecting an acceleration to the upside in this market as we go into the mother of all summer rallies, literally. And you heard it here first. The gold and silver, if you remember, I did make the comment there's an outside chance that we could go down to the 1275 level, and we did just that this morning, and we hit the 1274. We actually recommended buying it back at 1274 this morning. And the silver down around the 17, just under 1740, and we actually sold the silver on the rally upwards and the gold as well. But we would rebuy these metals on any afternoon going higher. If we start going higher into the afternoon like we've been doing the last few days, our call on the grains is going spectacularly. Although we did sell the highs a short while ago just to be careful, because these grains have got a habit of running up and then coming down so rapidly. My comments on the cotton, we did run up overnight as well, and we sold it, and we rebought it down near the lows this morning, and we are getting increasingly bullish on the cotton now, especially if it takes out the day's highs and sort of reverses into the end of the week. There could be a very big move in the cotton, on the back of the grains move. But the grains move, everything we've been saying about these grains, I mean, this is a big deal. We're not over 1,000 on the beans yet, but we're some of the way there, and I'm impressed with the action so far. But there is a bit of a pullback here. But I would either try and once these markets turn back up again, I'd definitely go back long the grains. And if they start hitting new highs, I'd want to be long for sure, because they're definitely starting to accelerate in their price movements. The oil, the energy sector, came up a little bit this morning. It's potentially, I said yesterday actually, to try and buy it on this dip. Today got down to about 45.30, 20 or so. We managed to get back in before this rally started. However, it's such a heavy week for the oil, and the oil stocks are acting really badly at the moment, which is not a very encouraging sign for the oil. So it looks like we've still got a bit more work to do, but I wouldn't rule out the oil breaking above 46.10 or 20, in which case I think you want to be long if that happens. Netflix is just starting to break out again, which is probably going to help the Nasdaq up. It's been held back here today, and so has Google. But if those stocks start turning back up, that should help the Nasdaq. Get back towards the highs. The Nasdaq takes out this morning's high, then it's really it's going to be very, very helpful to the overall potential for a continuing rally this afternoon. The world index is making new all-time record highs as well. The LABU, which we got back into on this last dip, hits 51.30 this morning. I'd be wanting to stay long the LABU. It's really starting to break out. These drug stocks, Intercept, we talked about Intercept.
Right.
Is acting very well. AGIO is acting very well. Honestly, this is a really, really great stock environment right now, where there are some, there's about a dozen really, really, really impressive momentum stocks that are acting extremely well. I also mentioned the copper that we got.
Yeah,
long,
you mentioned that yesterday.
That we got into it at 252, and it's just hit 261 a minute ago. I really think that the copper has the potential to, it's struggling to go higher, but it's clawing its way higher, and that's okay. What we may see along with this rally, and possibly with the infrastructure talk, increasing, that you'll see the copper accelerate to the upside. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a really, really big acceleration in copper right into the summer, possibly even as high, even take us over $3. And the reason I say that is, remember, look, it's kind of like the gold. We had the biggest move up in 30 years in the first 6 months of 2016, we've had this pullback, and now we're starting to see this accelerating uptrend developing, and it's kind of the same with copper. When copper bottomed, we had a massive rally right off those lows, and we've been doing a lot of consolidation, and now it's starting to break out above the consolidation level. And it takes time for the momentum to build, the energy to build in these things, but it feels to me like the copper, before this market peaks, we're going to see copper perform, and that's going to actually help the market higher, because the investors are going to see that higher copper prices are generally bullish for the economy, which should be happening. And by the way, listen, the Chinese market is being stealthily going up without anybody noticing, and Chinese market is looking awesome. By the way, just to record it, going back to a sell on the golds and the gold stocks right now, and back to a buy on the dust, and the dust might actually make a new high on the day. This is a pretty good buy on those and a pretty good sell on the gold. So this is the trip where we're probably going to go down and retest the 1274 level, and then look for the possibility where the 1274 might hold, and look for a second opportunity to get long, assuming this 1274 hold. If we
had a weekly trading zone at 75.76, so we spiked that this morning and bounced off of it.
Yeah. Now, if we go off the second time and then we start going back up, especially above 1280, then it's going to. Then I think we're going to develop the momentum that I was talking about yesterday, that should take us through the 1300, hopefully like a knife through butter. So this. I did say, we're going to. This is a normal pattern that happens when you go up to 1290. You tend to go, and look, sometimes the market can fool you, because we got all the way to 1298. You sort of think, kind of really correct down. Well, it happened right before our eyes, and it happened kind of sneakily overnight. But the fact that it's happened is, in a way, it's very constructive, because as long as we conform to the normal pattern, which is playing out right before our eyes, and then we start going back up, it actually strengthens the structure of gold for the next leg up. So I keep that in mind. But in the meantime, as I said yesterday, there's going to be some good trading opportunities in the dust and the nugget, if you can catch them, in the meantime. So, and then there'll probably be a dream run in the nugget and the J-nug on the next up leg, and it could be one of those days where it just gaps higher and goes. So, or it could be a lower. What happened actually in the previous very strong uptrend. A couple of times we had a lower gap down in the nugget and the J-nug, and they just turned on a dime and went screaming higher. So that's when it really gets difficult, because you have to be very attuned to that happening, and it can be tough to get in at the right price. But that, anytime you see some decent upside momentum on these metals, you got to take a shot at it, because it might be the big one. And that's what we're trying to do for everybody here on this show. And look at that, it's following our comments where we sold the grains this morning. Now they're coming off pretty sharply. So just shows you, you can't, just because the market's going up, you can't sort of rest on your laurels and say, I'm fine, grains are going up and I'm not going to budge. You have to be, I'm not guaranteeing they're going to go higher. I'm just saying they've been acting really well, but you've got to be cautious. This is quite a volatile market, and it makes sense to take profits when you see them. Just build up the profits. That's what the memo is for the day. keep scalping profits wherever you can.
35.36 on soybeans, 935/36. If we take out that support area, then we could see 27.28.
Right. I'll give you something happened yesterday, which was a bit of a shocker. We were long this blue, and it was up around this level, and we put a sell stop in, I think around 108. And you remember that's to us that's a short position as well. So when we sell, we automatically go short. And next thing you know, it lost $4 just like that. Bang. I mean, it went straight down to the low hundreds. Maybe it was testing 100 that it hadn't tested when it went up through it. But it recovered. We got back long, and it recovered that $4 real quick. And generally, when you see that, tends to be very bullish. Now, it's not pushing the stock higher just yet, but what it tends to suggest is in the next few days, it might do an NVIDIA, and it might really blast higher. So I would be, look, it's a big stock, and it is a risky stock to be trading. Anything up above $100 is a big deal. But nevertheless, the trading performance of these stocks and the movement in them is very, very profitable if you're trading 1,000 shares at a time. I mean, if you did that this morning, if you just bought NVIDIA, we went long NVIDIA. We made a particular mention that we wanted to hold NVIDIA overnight yesterday, and also the Blue and AGO and Yahoo and a few other stocks, and a lot of them have gapped up today, including NVIDIA, and basically we're $10 higher than where we were yesterday. So that's a pretty big deal, for any institution or anything like that might be following us.
Right. How damaging do you think this testimony was today?
You know what? The fact that the market's going up, I think they're brushing it off. I don't think it's probably a little bit embarrassing for Trump to have his dirty laundry kind of aired all over the world. But I think Trump's gotten a memo. You got to be careful. It's like somebody said a while ago, don't talk to cops if you ever get in trouble. Don't say anything, because they'll always find a way to get you in trouble. That's what their business is. And really, Trump sort of probably walked into the trap a little bit. But look, there's probably a piece on the internet somewhere where Alan Dershowitz, you got this guy who's the most boring character on the face of the earth. He's this Jeffrey Toobin on CNN. By the way, I got a new name for the CNN from the blabbermouths to the deadbeats. And the reason we're calling them the deadbeats is they keep flogging a dead horse. Right? They keep going on. And I mean, look, we said 6 months ago this Russian thing was a lot of nonsense, and it's totally confirmed now, obviously, by the fact that the president's not being investigated, and the rest of it has collapsed because it's all untrue. And I'm not even believing all this stuff that the Russians targeted. I think that was set up, and that will eventually come to light, I think, in time. So, I mean, honestly, some of these liars and people out there who are these Democrats, I'd rather listen to Putin than them. In all honesty, you're probably getting a better. You're going to see a huge interview with Putin on just June the 12th with Oliver Stone, and Oliver Stone's a pretty formidable character, and I think it's going to reveal a lot of the truth behind this whole thing. Which is it's so contrived. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's hard to imagine that these grown men are behaving with such in such evil ways, and it's just sickening. And all these diatribes on CNN and all the lies. They're being caught in a lie. Staging things, and they were the ones who came out and said that Trump didn't get clearance from Comey, that he was that Comey didn't say that, and it turned out he did, and he didn't just say it. He said it very strongly. But what Dershowitz says, look, Dershowitz is like the godfather of all lawyers. He knows more about law than anybody else, and he basically destroyed the CNN in one interview. Basically said, look, the president has the power to stop an investigation if he wants, or to start an investigation. He can order it, and he didn't order it with Comey. He made a kind of a suggestion which has been blown out of all proportion. Whether you like it or not, he's got the power to do it. And he's got the power to forgive Flynn today if he wants to. He can do it at any time. So the president has absolute power, and everybody doesn't understand that, but that's the case. And sick and tired of hearing from Blumenthal and this Walker guy. I mean, give me a break. Who the hell ever elected this guy? I mean, I had to, even Admiral earned some respect from me yesterday when he, all these four guys said they weren't going to yield an inch to these senators and congressmen yesterday. And power to them. They played their role exactly as it should be played, and I think that was a very good message, because I think once this Comey thing is over, this thing is pretty much dead. And I think we're going to see the infrastructure come out. We're going to see a lot of things going. I think Trump's going to get energized even more to do everything he's on his power. He's not going to quit his agenda for a minute. He's going to get everything done, and I think everything will just work out just fine.
Now, are they going to continue this today or tomorrow?
I think they're going to continue today, by the sounds of it. It might go into tomorrow. I don't know. Because I was calling you when they were talking about it, so I'm not sure what the deal is.
Gotcha. Okie doke. Well, thanks, John, for popping in. Thanks for everything, and enjoy the afternoon if he comes back on. Just hopefully, obviously, he was publicly fired, so his feelings are hurt, and he's going to be bitter.
Well, they're making it out to be, like the Holy Grail today. It's sort of like, oh, we're so sorry, oh, we love you, and we did. But look, listen, the whole world wanted this guy out of office. Everybody's forgotten that. And, they dig, and I mean, the disgusting part of the whole thing, by the way, we're back on a buy on the metals again. It's a bit volatile here, but this might be the big one even here. If we rally into the afternoon like we have before, it could turn very bullish. And Royal Gold, which has been weak, is now one of the strongest and leading the way higher, as is GOLD. So this could be it. Look, you can't have a double standard here. Clinton is absolutely guilty of about 6 or 7 or more different code violations. And she should be prosecuted. I mean, why shouldn't she get a free pass? I mean, these people have made hundreds of millions of dollars illegally, and they've been doing all kinds of stuff underhand and probably breaking the law in a variety of ways. And they're going after Trump on a matter of a few words that was said. That's about it. And a totally concocted story about Russia and all this other stuff and I think these contrived documents and dossiers and everything like that. It's absolute disgrace. And Clinton is getting off the hook. If I was Trump, I'd throw the book at her. I'd order the investigation to restart.
Yep.
And he should do it. He should reorder. He should do it. You know what? He should do it because it'll give him a lot of leverage. Because then, you know what? All the Democrats will come crawling to him and say, "Please, Mr. President, can you back off?" And then they'll be guilty of the same thing Trump tried. She's our friend. She's a nice lady. Just like he's doing with Flynn. Think about it.
Pete from the audience just said that he thinks the rest of Comey's hearings will be in private due to security reasons.
Well, it might be. I think we've heard enough, frankly. It's getting a bit boring. But listen, the Dems they all got Hillary-itis, they're all loving her. And she's our friend and she's so wonderful. And you know what? As I said on the show, I think Flynn is probably going to make. I reckon if Flynn had been the national security advisor by now, I think there wouldn't be a Raqqa anymore or a Mosul. He would have taken them both out by now and gotten rid of ISIS. I think we've been in slow-mo because of this other guy who got in there. And now they're saying that he's the one who's been leaking all the stuff. It's McMaster. He's the one. That's the one I call Shrek. You know.
Shrek.
Yeah. Him and Smirkonish. They're like the Shrek twins.
What a madcap cast of zany characters.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, look, the TNA and the EM are just soaring here. This is the fact that these the foot soldiers, if you like, you know, the broadest sector of the market is going relentlessly higher today. Very, very, very bullish indeed on my calculation. So,
Gold seems to have quietened down. Seems to be holding this level right here.
Yeah. Well, look at GOLD. It's kind of on the high, and Royal Gold. That's helping the Nugget and the JNUG go back up. So it feels to me like, you know, maybe the lows are in. You know, you could get a retest tonight. In fact, it's Thursday, so we may, you know, again look for between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern for a pullback in the gold, possibly the 1274, even a bit lower. And if you see it and it gives us a buy, then go for it, because it might be the low of the night, and you could have a rebound right into Friday. But look at the Royal Gold now. Look at the way they're soaring. It's very gratifying to see that.
Well, John, thanks so much, and we look forward to talking with you again tomorrow.
Likewise, much obliged. Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thanks so much. Take care.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. We are going to wrap it up for today. You're right, Pete. The Clintons are the most corrupt leaders of modern times. The things that they were allowed to get away with are absolutely unbelievable. But they did. They got away with it. So far, anyway. And it doesn't look like anybody's chasing them down. I thought Trump would, but I guess he decided other things are more important, at least for now. The American people and the safety. All right, guys, remember it's Partners Workshop tonight. So partners will get your invitation this afternoon. If you've been on a trial and you want to be in the workshop tonight, you do need to become a partner. Michael should have sent you an email if you're on the trial. If you didn't get the email and you want to know what it takes to become a partner, just call 949-42-EMINI or email support@cfrn.net. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with its grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.